here. Okie dokie, hello, y'all, and let me get on my big ass motherfucking drum roll, please. Because I am what you are looking at me in right now. What you are looking at Elle in right now is her motherfucking new room in her new home. It's been a long time coming, y'all. I've been home. I was houseless for like 6 years. So this is really big for me because this is like a stable home. I have great roommates. They are also trans for the most part. One of my roommates isn't, but for the most part, it's just a large community space. And I wanted to do something special. Like I want to start like using my channel for just whatever I want to use it for, like I said in my prior video. And I was brainstorming ideas and I was like, what if I did like a series on how I became homeless and overcame homelessness with the help of others and my community, etc. So today is part 1 of that series. We are gonna smoke and eat. So I'm gonna get high. I live in California again. I do not support the consumption of weed if you are not in a place where it is legal. If it is illegal, do not do it. Okay? But we'll be smoking and I will be eating while I talk to you. I'm not gonna say it's a mukbang because I don't think I have enough food for that. And I don't really know exactly what that means. So I'm not gonna be labeling my shit as something that I don't know what it is. So we're gonna smoke, we're gonna eat, and we're gonna start part 1 of how I became homeless. And it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be riveting. It's gonna be a bomb story. And if you are experiencing homelessness, or if you know someone who's experiencing homelessness or houselessness, however they prefer to call it, guide them to this video. And if you are someone who is homeless or houseless and you are watching this video, post resources for your state and your city in the comments, please. I want this project and anything I do on my channel to actually help people and not just put money in my pockets. That's cool, but I want to help my community. So if you or anyone you know is houseless or homeless and trans, or just houseless and homeless in general, and you know any tools to help them, put them in the comments, please. If they're trans or you're trans and you're experiencing houselessness and homelessness and you know any like just access points or resources in your city or state, post them in the comments. So without further ado, I'm gonna rip this bong and then I'm gonna open my food and we're gonna start talking. So this is gonna be a very relaxed video, y'all, and you know, I hope that y'all are having a nice relaxed Monday. I recorded this on a Monday. I'm probably gonna upload it on a Monday because I just be doing that same day upload schedule, motherfucker. But I hope y'all are chilling out. Like I want my channel to be a space where you can come and not just like escape from the world, but like, you know, like really like feel okay within yourself. So if you're gonna smoke with me, let's do it. If you're gonna take a bong rip with me, let's do it. If you wanna eat with me, we could do that too. If you just wanna watch me eat because that turns you on, we can do that. So here we go. Okay, on the count of 3, if you're gonna smoke a bong with me. 1, 2, 3. We smoking on a little blue dream. A little blue dream. And I'm back, y'all. Elle has officially entered the building. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna eat, you guys. But I smoked some Blue Dream. It's sativa dominant. I'm preferring sativa dominance a lot more lately, just because I just like don't want to feel sluggish. Like I've been noticing that like for like obviously so, but like even with indica dominance, I have like a little bit of like euphoria and some drive. They just be having me depressed, not even tired. So I'm taking a break from indicas, and I've been smoking sativas and sativa dominants lately because they help my body pain if they're a hybrid, and they help me get out of my mind, and that really helps like my PTSD and like anxiety. So I've really been on sativas, and today we did Blue Dream. I'm gonna eat a moon bowl. It's like this Korean place. It's like a Korean place, but like it's not Korean, but like it is. It's like American fusion. You know how like Taco Bell try to be Mexican and it's not, and Chipotle. It's like that, except they actually have like Korean, authentic Korean things. So you can get like bamboo rice, tofu. You can get your chicken cooked a certain way, like I guess like a Korean style. They have like fucking fried cauliflower. I'm on some halfway vegan, halfway not vegan shit, which means like when I'm depressed, I'm not a vegan. But when I'm happy and I'm on my go, I'm mostly plant-based. I'll eat fish, and maybe chicken, but mostly fish and just a ton of veggies. I love veggies in itself, in themselves anyways. So yeah, that's what I'm eating. If you guys want to look at it, can you see it? Got some bamboo rice, fried cauliflower, mandarin oranges, charred corn, arugula, not no kale, because that shit will kill your ass, and motherfucking tofu. A bitch is gonna be thick. So we're gonna eat that. I'm gonna take another bong rip and then we're gonna start. If you are someone who is easily triggered by sad things, or you just don't like to hear about people struggling because it makes you feel uncomfortable because you've never struggled, that is a real thing, don't watch this video. This video is going to be very happy, but it's also going to be a little mind-boggling, a little different. You know, it's gonna open your eyes to the experiences and of how one person became houseless, because anybody can become houseless in like an instant, and it can happen in any type of way. Y'all, let me put this phone on Do Not Disturb, because you know we ghetto over here. Here we go. Okay, y'all. So we back on. Y'all can see me. Okay, so so I became houseless in 2017. Around the beginning of it, I became houseless. And nope, the end. Around the middle, towards the end of 26. No. It was the middle of 2017. Okay, so this is what happened. For any of y'all who don't know, if you look on my channel originally, you'll see a video about it, but I am a naval veteran. I was in the Navy. I don't support the government does anymore, but I support people who have to join for their well-being. Watch a video if you want to know how I feel about it and what it did for my life, blah, 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 blah. It's in the videos. I don't do that edit link shit. I don't know how to do it yet. But I was in the Navy, and I joined the Navy to get the GI Bill, which is basically like where you join the military, sell your soul for 4 years, get the shit beat out of you, and then you get out and you can go to college, and they pay like basically everything, and then you get money, like separate money while you're going to school. And that's what I wanted. Like, I was like, bitch, I'm ready. And at the time, I was really into fashion. I was really into just like white shit, you know, fashion, being skinny, diets, espresso. I was just I feel like I was shallow. I'm not saying those things are shallow. I'm being funny, but I feel like I was a little more shallow. At that point in my life, I was 24, and I had just gotten out of an engagement with like this person who at the time I was really in love with. And I didn't want to be in Miami anymore. I had moved back home to Miami to go to beauty school. And then after beauty school, I was going to move back to Virginia to be with my ex-fiance or whatever the fuck you want to call him. And that didn't work out. And I was just in Miami sitting on my ass. And I was just like, girl, like, what are you going to do? And I was just like, you have the GI Bill. You've always wanted to do fashion. Go to fucking New York. You're 24, you're young, your pussy's tight, you're a bad bitch. Go. So I applied for Parsons. Super late at night, I end up doing this project, this crazy ass project. I'm really drunk. And I do the project over the course of weeks, but it's very late at night. I'm drunk every time I do this project. I turn in the project to apply for Parsons, which is like one of the most prestigious like art schools like in the world. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying I didn't realize how crazy it was until I applied there. So I applied to this school and I get in for summer semester 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016. So, yeah, 2016. So, summer 2016, I end up going to Miami. One of my good friends had bought me my ticket. I was working at Starbucks. I was irresponsible. I ended up leaving Miami with $230 in my pocket. I stayed with a friend. And I started going to school and working full-time at Starbucks. So my friend lived in the bottom of Brooklyn, like in Sheepshead Bay. What's up, all my Brooklyn people? I love it. People from New York are like some of my favorite people ever. They're also some of my least favorite people, but I feel like that's like the transplant New Yorkers. I feel like real New Yorkers are like really like genuine, crazy. They're imperfect, beautiful people. So I lived in Sheepshead, Brooklyn, and I would take, ooh, it's a fly in here. My window's open. I'm so high, you guys. So, did they give me my fucking sauce? They didn't. Wow, that's so shady. Okay, anyways, fuck them. So, my friend lives in the bottom of Brooklyn, Sheepshead. I have to open at Starbucks in Manhattan, like 3 blocks up from Union Square. I have to be there at 3:30 in the morning. It takes me an hour and a half to get to the city from where I live. So I was waking up at like 2 to take the Q train all the way up into Manhattan to go open up work at Starbucks with this annoying ass motherfucker named Chad. I fucking hate that asshole. He was such a piece of shit. Fuck you, Chad. And then after I would work from like open to 12, I would go do my classes from like 12 to 9:30. And that was my schedule for my whole first semester. And I did pretty well my first semester. I failed sewing, because fuck that class. That's more important to the story. But I did great. I ended up quitting Starbucks. The manager, like, on my opinion, was very, very racist and prejudiced and just not a good person. And I ended up quitting because I wanted to focus on school and I was getting the GI Bill money regularly. So I was getting a stipend every month to use to pay my rent, food, all that shit. And, ooh, this tofu is good. Sorry, you guys. I got a little excited. So I'm fucking taking my classes. I'm doing good. But at the same time, I also had just came out as trans. I came out to people in Miami before, but I got off the plane in New York as L. And I've never solely lived as L before. So I was really dealing with a lot emotionally, physically. It was hard. I was really suicidal. I was really, really sad. I felt very ugly. I didn't feel like I belonged, even though I had friends and people liked me. I just didn't feel like I belonged, like, with anyone. I didn't really have any trans friends. Like, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And I just saw all this stuff going on TV. And then I had to go to school and just, like, be happy and be okay, even though I was struggling so hard to, like, understanding how to manage money, because I never had to do that before. Understanding how to, like, be alone. Like, I had never, like, in the Navy, I always had people. And then in Miami, I always had my family. So when I went to college, like, I was 25, learning how to, like, be a real adult. A real adult. And it was really scary, y'all. Like, it was terrifying. School was rough because I was in an accelerated fashion program. So, bitch, they had us out here fucking like, naked bitch, get to the middle of the room. They didn't really say that, but like a naked person would get to the middle of the room and they'd be like, y'all got like 5 seconds to sketch this bitch. And we'd be like, "Arr!" And then they would roast you. It was crazy. I grew so much from that school. I'm so happy I had the chance to go there. It was a blessing. Fuck that school. It was a blessing. But I had this sewing teacher. I'm not gonna say her name because she was the evil bitch. But anybody who had me for sewing in Parsons who's watching this knows who the fuck I'm talking about. She took the attendance one day, y'all, and was like, oh, L, he, she, it, whatever you are today. Y'all, she said that in front of the whole class. I just had came out that, like, I was really, like, I was not okay even wearing, like, girl clothes around people still. And, like, that bitch just straight up just, like, hung me up to fucking dry, bitch. And then fucking whipped me and threw salt water into my wounds, you know? And, it, like, really fucked me up. And I remember after that day, I just released my mood towards school just started declining. I was suspicious of every teacher. I thought every teacher was prejudiced and transphobic. I thought everyone was out to get me because of that experience. So that was my first semester. Fast forward to my second semester. It starts like right after Trump gets elected, da-da-da-da-da. And my second semester starts and I'm in school and I'm doing way better this semester, like way better. I'm juggling everything really, really good, but I'm still having issues like finding housing because I had moved in with a friend. We kind of bumped heads. I wasn't mature enough for like a roommate like that yet at that level. So I had to go and I was sleeping at this school while working like in the school. Like I would go to school and then sleep at school. I met someone and I was getting in the process of moving to that apartment, but I had to wait. So I'm juggling in school, I'm doing way better, but then I'm still like, now I'm dealing with this new aspect of like not having housing. There's a fine here, y'all. It just came in through the window. I'm not gonna throw it out. We don't discriminate. Don't touch my food though, bitch. And stay away from my food. Fucking whore. And you know, I was dealing with shit that adults deal with, but I had never dealt with any of this shit before. At all. I was so sheltered as a child. I had the military after high school, so I always had some sort of protection, you know? Lord, this is good, y'all. Moon Bowl. If you in LA, get Moon Bowls. So good. So, I'm moving to this new place, and y'all, the second day that I move into this place, it was an apartment with my friend. We ended up taking over the lease or whatever. One of my best friends, her name's Isabel. Shout out to Isabel. We moved into this apartment, and the second day I move in, it's the start of finals. And I'm in school till 2 a.m. because I'm sewing. Like, I have to do sewing homework, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass my construction class like this time around. Like, I'm not gonna fail. I was like, I wanted to get good, because I wanted to go to college. So I was like, I'm gonna get good grades, I'm gonna pass every class this semester. You know, make myself proud. And I'm on the train on my way home from Manhattan. This fucking fly is huge. I'm on my way home from Manhattan to Brooklyn on the Q train. And before I get on the train, get away! This fly, y'all! Leave me alone! Before I get on the train, this lady, sorry y'all, this is like the war of the flies. Y'all be getting like inserts in my fucking YouTube show. I'ma spray your ass with my torch that I have from my dad and crisp you. Get the fuck out of my room. Anyways, y'all, so I'm getting on the train from Manhattan to Brooklyn. I'ma fucking kill this fly. From Manhattan to Brooklyn, get out of my room! It's still alive. Holy So, can you just die, please? So I get on the train. I'm just gonna cover my food and eat the rest of it and tell the rest of the story, you guys. Cause I'm into the story now. I'm still gonna eat though, maybe when the fly leaves. So I get on the train from Manhattan to Brooklyn, and this lady is screaming about her Taco Bell. This white lady, redheaded white lady. She's like, "Where the fuck's my Taco Bell?" And she starts yelling at me, and I was like, "Oh, like I don't know," because if y'all don't know me, like initially, like if I didn't do anything wrong and I don't know what's going on, I'm a very timid person. But the moment I feel like I'm disrespected, it's about to pop off. So we like the train doors open up. I get on the train, and the lady who asked me about her Taco Bell runs up the stairs. Right before the doors close onto the Q train, y'all, this lady runs back and sticks her arm in. And that's how, anybody who's from New York, you know that if someone sticks their arm in the train like that and they're screaming hysterically, some shit's about to go on that train because that person is crazy. So she does this, and I'm just like minding my business. Like, I have all my shit with me from that school to move into the rooms. I moved the rest of my stuff out of the school because I was hiding it in classrooms as I was living there. And I have like all my final work too, and like I'm carrying hella shit, y'all. Like art students, design students, bitch, my heart goes out to y'all because that shit is rough. And I'm just sitting there trying to mind my business, listening to my headphones, you know, jamming out. And the lady's like, "You ate my fucking Taco Bell, didn't you?" And like, I don't hear her. And she like keeps saying it, she's pointing at me, and I take my headphones off, and she's like, "You ate my Taco Bell, didn't you?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't eat your Taco Bell. Like, I don't really have any, like, I wouldn't want to do that." And I had like $4, so I was gonna give it to her because I didn't know if she was struggling or not. And she's like, "Oh, you think you're so fucking cute, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And like, you guys, it just bothers me because it's like, no matter what I do, what I'm wearing, where I go, no matter where I go, I'm attracting some type of attention, whether it's good or bad or dangerous. That's why I like to stay in my house a lot, you know? And people don't be getting that, but that's why I like to stay in my house a lot, because I attract attention. Whether people say I attract it to myself or not is not the case. I attract attention. Enablers. And she's just going off, and like I'm ignoring her, and she's like, "Oh, like this is why your parents don't love you, because you're like, just because you're weird and you're queer." And like that hurts because both of my parents and me have less than perfect relationships, close to non-existent, because of my transness and my queerness and their inability to accept and respect me because of that. So like that just really hurt, and like I was already sad from school. So, like, I'm just like, "Please leave me alone. Like, I don't want to be bothered anymore." And she's like, "Oh, you don't want to be bothered anymore." And she, like, gets super close to my face. And, like, nobody on the train is doing anything. There's tons of people on the train. And everyone is just watching this white lady scream at me in my face. And I am just like, I'm over it. Like, I'm just over it. And I get up to move my seat, and she's just taunting me now. Now she's like, "Oh, yeah, what you gonna do?" And I was like, "If you don't leave me the fuck alone," I was like, "I'm gonna defend myself." Because everybody knows I will defend myself. And she tries to rush at me, and I take this bag that I have, and the bag that I have has a jar of, like, shea butter and stuff in it. And I fucking, like, wrap the bag around my hand real quick, and she's running at me. And I bang her in the face with the shea butter jar, and it breaks. Her face gets fucked and like swollen and shit. She's about to fucking pop bleed. Like when you hit someone with a flat thing, but the pressure about to make them bleed, that's how she looked. And I was like, "Stay the fuck back." I was like, "Or I'm gonna pop you again." And she starts cussing crazy Karen, like, "Wah!" And like I'm on this train, I'm ignoring her, and she's not coming at me again because she didn't want to try me. So I get off on my stop, and it's like at Parkside on the Q, or Parkside, whatever fucking park that is. It's by Avenue U, Parkside stop. Get off there, and this bitch runs out after me, but then this black guy and this white lady get in front of her, and the white lady's like, "Stop, like, leave the kid alone." And the black guy's like, "Yeah, leave her alone, da 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 da." And she like breaks through them, and like she starts chasing me, and she's like, "I'm gonna kill you." And I'm fucking like, you guys, like, I'm terrified, like, I'm scared as fuck. I've never been attacked by a white woman before. I've been attacked by people who I can confidently beat the shit out of. And like, this is around the time when cops was like publicly on the news shooting people, because they've been doing it forever. But this is when it was really getting on the news. Like, this was right around the time Trump got elected. Like, everything was very high tensions and just not safe. So like I start like running from her, and she's like sprinting after me like the whole block, all the way up to my apartment building, and she gets closer to me and she grabs me, and like I already had my hand in my bag to like try to find a tool, and because I needed to defend myself, but I could only get out like the fabric stitcher thing, the wheel with the spikes, and like she grabbed me and like she turned me around, and I just lifted it up and I just cut her like across her titties with it. And she just fucking screams like this fucking Draco Malfoy ass fucking Maleficent ass scream, like, and then she like, I fucking dip. Like I dip and I get inside the door of my building and I close it so she can't come in. And I just fucking go into the elevator and I just start like crying. And I don't get out of the elevator, I'm sitting in it, and I had told my roommate what had happened when I was coming up the elevator, and my roommate was there and like just found me crying and sad, and I was terrified, and I didn't go to school for like 2 weeks, like the remainder of finals. I was just too terrified to go outside. And I should have told the school earlier, but I was fucking shook. I was in shock. I was traumatized. It had never happened to me before. And I went to school and I was like, hey, I want to know if there's a chance that I can make up my finals. And I had to explain to them what happened, and they're like, no, if you don't have a police report, we can't prove that that was real, so we can't do that for you. And I was just like, I literally had like a 3.7 that semester. So I just didn't know what to do. And I went to go talk to my counselor, and my counselor was like, oh, it's too late for you to even renew now anyways because you didn't resend your paperwork. But I had never even got a call from this bitch. Like, and she's like our personal military counselor. She was trash. And that meant I couldn't get my GI Bill. And that meant I couldn't get any money to like pay my rent. So I go 2 months without paying my rent, and I end up either having to leave the apartment or leave the apartment. So I go to the VA and I end up leaving the apartment that I lived in. I had a bunch of roommates there. It was amazing. I had to leave. I couldn't find a way to pay the rent. I couldn't get work as a trans person either in New York, ironically. And I go to the VA, which is like the Veterans Association, I think that's what it stands for. And they helped me out by getting me an apartment. And in this apartment, I had moved into this apartment with someone who I had been dating at the time because I was toxic and not smart. But I moved in with them, and they had ended up moving somewhere and left me in that, and I had stayed in that apartment. That was my apartment. I agreed to like help them out until they moved because I cared about them. And when they left, my roommate downstairs was this old widowed man. He was an older widowed man. He used like a walker. I think his legs were like more impaired than normal. Something happened to him. He was a veteran. Very sweet old guy originally. And then like one day, I walked past his door and he's sitting in his bedroom naked, and he asked me to come inside. And I'm like, run upstairs to my room. I'm in this house by myself with him. I live in the attic. He's on the second floor. And then the first floor is a family's house who owns the house that's renting it out. So I'm in the attic, door locked by myself, terrified. And I just end up like stop going home because he was like standing behind me when I would bend over the oven. I would hear the door of the bathroom open. I would look and it would be cracked and he would be gone, but I would hear him walking. So I was scared to go home. Wow, it's emotional. And I tried to jump in front of a train one night on the way home because I didn't want to go home that badly, and I was so sad about my life. I was staying at my friends' houses because I didn't want to go home. I didn't have any money, like I lived in Queens. The place where I was living was in the top of Queens with this creepy dude, just by myself, and it was just real bleak, and I ended up just going to just kind of like going to the VA and telling them I'm gonna leave because I don't want to live there anymore with that guy. And I kind of lied and said I had help because I couldn't bear for them to make me stay there anymore. So I leave. I move out. I take all my stuff and I go. And I stayed with a friend for a little bit. And in between this time that I'm staying with this friend, the another person living there doesn't want me to be there, so they try to throw me out. So this whole time I'm not allowed to be there during the day or the evening, and I have to like be outside and do stuff. And I end up in this really weird cycle, like in New York, where I have nowhere to go. I'm not welcome at the place that I was allowed to stay at. I have nowhere to live. I had gotten fired from 2 jobs unjustly. One of the jobs, it was a burger place. I got fired because I said that the cooks were being dumb, but they were the same cooks who sexually harassed me, and I told the managers, who called me terrible names behind my back in Spanish that they didn't think I knew about. And I only had one person in that job stand up for me. Shout out to Star if you're watching this. And then the second job, I got fired for not hiding my boss's weed. I swear to God. So I couldn't get money, and I was just in New York. It was hard. Like, it was rough, y'all. Like, it was rough. And I end up talking to one of my best friends at the time, and she's like, hey, you should move to Hawaii with me and get yourself on your feet. And that is where I'm gonna end today's video, at that part, because the next part of the story is gonna be really, really good. This story starts off kind of slow and sad, you guys, but I think that as time goes on more, I feel like you'll be able to draw inspiration from this if you are going through this, or, you know, just some drive, because, you know, the struggle of houselessness and homelessness is like an in and out kind of fucking revolving door sometimes. It's how it feels. But I'm gonna stop the story there. I'm gonna eat my food. This is gonna be a 4-part series, so look out for the other 3. And remember, again, whatever city or state you're in, whether you're trans or not, especially if you're trans, if you have homelessness or houselessness resources for the city or state that you're in, post them in the comments. Again, I'm sharing these stories to help people have a different perspective of how people become homeless and ultimately what happens to them. And, you know, like, just like how life intertwines with that and how it's still affected by it. So I love everyone. I love all of you guys for watching. Thank you for watching. Look out for the other 3. I don't know when I'm going to post them. They'll be within a week and a half of each other, y'all. I'm not putting myself in a crazy-ass time constraint. I'm a human being. I got mental illness. I got blessings to deal with, you know. But again, I hope you guys have a great week. And I will talk to all of you very, very soon. Stay black if you are black. Bye, you guys.